This is the iPad Pro, and I just bought it a couple of days ago, and along with the iPad Pro, I bought a whole bunch of accessories, and the most expensive one by far was the Smart Folio keyboard. So it's that keyboard case that Apple sells. It was $180, and I'm not going to lie, I've had a bunch of buyer's remorse about it. I think this is unnecessarily expensive, and because of that, it got my head turning, and I thought, you know, what are the alternatives? If I don't go the Apple way, of course, there's no like large brands that have made a keyboard case like Belkin or the usual brands that make the keyboard cases yet. So let's look on Amazon. So I went on Amazon and I found the highest rated Prime shipping case, which cost $50. Now, the cost wasn't something I was looking at, but it was highest rating. So this one had over 45 ratings, and it was above 4 stars. So that was definitely a positive sign. And being almost lower than a third of the price, I think, you know, we just have to figure out what it's like. So the beauty of this Apple case is that it entirely works on magnets, and it looks very simple. You know, it has a very neat and simple, very, how would you say it, a minimalistic look. You know, there's nothing on the front, nothing on the back. It just looks really clean and neat. So this one is a little bit different. In fact, I don't even really remember what the design looks like since I ordered it a couple of days ago. But let's look at it. So it comes in 2 boxes for some reason. And, okay, so this part has the keyboard. And it just instructs you about the keyboard. It comes with a charging cable, all right. And here, let's pull this out. All right, so this is the keyboard bit. And now the thing is, I do remember this from the page description. This actually has a magnetic latch. So what happens is it will magnetically attach to the case. But one of the, you know, a lot of good things about this is that, one, it's removable. So if you just want to carry on the keyboard and not the case, it just, you can do that. It is backlit. It does have all these, you know, brightness, play, pause, volume buttons, which I really like. I really hate that the Apple case doesn't have volume controls built right on it. It's such a simple but, you know, important feature that I think that they forgot. You know, I'm not sure if they forgot or they just purposefully didn't include it, but I don't like that. And here we go. Let's look at the case. This is a leather case. So unlike Apple's more silicone plastic approach, this is a little bit more of a premium material. Let's pull it out. Okay, it looks pretty thick. I will give the one thing to Apple though, you know, they are using a keyboard that does not require, you know, charging or any sort of, you know, additional, you know, inputs. It's just you connect up to the case and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. With this, there are a few steps involved. So right off the bat, this opens like a huge book, and the iPad is going to go in here. I believe the case just kind of, yeah, it will support this, and I believe this is where the keyboard should latch on. Let me see. I'm not even sure. I heard this was magnetic. So, okay, yes, it is magnetic, but okay, so you can, I guess, it's like fully customizable in a way, but in a weird kind of way, so you're going to have to do it every time. And how does it work when it's closed? Does it just like close like this with the keyboard really awkwardly sitting against the iPad? I guess so. Okay. Let me get my iPad into this and let's figure out if this is worth $50 or at least a little bit better option than $180 that I have to spend with Apple. All right. There we go. So, that covered, you can just close up the case like this. And it does feel like it's a little bit empty if you have the case just without the keyboard. Now, let's try on that keyboard. I'm not sure how it's going to work. Do I just leave it like this? Okay, for once what I'm going to do is I'm going to consult the manual and see where this is supposed to go. But of course it doesn't have one. Maybe it's something on the box? Nope. Alright. We're just going to have to figure it out as I go. So let's just say I have it on like this. But it is not strong enough to stay magnetically is what I feel like. So, okay, at least it's latching on now. Let's see. Let me just get it in before the first groove here. Okay. Nope, it's still quite a weak link, but let's close it up. Alright, so not the best finish. Definitely, I'm not liking this. If you guys can see, it just feels like a weird addition to your case. So this might not be the best alternative. I will include the link for this down below, but I think that this isn't probably the best way to go. It does... I'm not liking this like movable keyboard. I wish it was just built right in so you couldn't move it around and change things about it. Another weird thing is that this keyboard, despite being very clearly for the iPad, has a Windows symbol right here. So I'm guessing that this is kind of a repurposed Chinese keyboard that they just kind of redeveloped for the iPad. Alright, I'm going to try it out now. I believe I'm going to have to pair it with Bluetooth. So that is one more thing. You know, you do have the pairing process on this, which you did not with the Apple Pace. You just connect it up with, and the smart connectors take care of everything else. Alright, here we go. Keyboard. And connected. Alright. So let me bring the keyboard back into focus over here. Let's move this back down. And, alright, so this is a more rudimentary solution. I feel like this is more for, you know, if you don't want to pay the $50, I'm sorry, the 180 bucks on the Apple one, but you do want to try it out, this seems okay. I'm not sure why it got so many great rave reviews, because I'm seeing a huge flaw with this being that it's not attached to the keyboard, so it's very easy to move it away, and then it's just very clearly not a purpose-built thing. It has the Windows symbol instead of having command. But the one cool thing about it, it is backlit, so you guys can, I'm sure it's not showing up on camera. Let's see if I can get some other color to show up. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so there are a few levels of brightness. So that is absolutely not showing up on camera. So give me 1 second. I'm going to turn off the lights, and you guys should be able to see way better. Alright, so with the lights off, you guys can see a lot better. There is that keyboard brightness, the inbuilt colors. So it has a few colors. Honestly, it's okay. It doesn't get too bright. The room really has to be dark for you to see it. It looks pretty cool though. Some of the comments, like this black and green, looks pretty killer. I don't know. You know, there are some gimmicks to the keyboard, but I'm not sure what I feel like. One thing I will give you is that the typing does seem to be really nice. The keys are nice and they work. And the Windows key does double up as your command button, as it would on any other. And the Windows key does double up as the command key here. So you note it is the same thing, to be honest, in many ways. But personally, I think that this particular case just isn't worth it. I will keep looking, but for now, I would say that the $180 case, it pains me to say it, is probably still the better move. One of the main reasons being is that, one, it uses a smart connector, so you never have to charge it up. Two, it's purpose-built for the iPad, so it just feels like it's supposed to work a lot better. While this keyboard does have a lot of shortcuts, it feels very cluttered as well. This shares the same problem as the other keyboard, which is that it has a very small backspace, which I don't like. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I personally don't like this one, but I'm sure there are better ones out there. So, if you guys are using any particular keyboard cases for your Apple iPad Pro 2018 that isn't from Apple, that's a third party from Amazon or somewhere, do send me links down below. I really want to check it out and see what they're like. For now, I think that I probably shouldn't have jumped on this board so fast. It's just the case doesn't feel as premium. It definitely feels Chinese built, if you know what I'm saying. You guys, all of you must have experienced the Amazon Chinese product specials, so this one definitely feels like one of them. The coolest thing, and I'm gonna give it to it, is that backlighting. It looks so cool, like when you change it over. But otherwise, it's just, there's not really much to talk about. Again, keys are decent. Experience is okay at best. I definitely don't like that this keyboard just kind of pulls away and then you can kind of move around, and it's just not securely in the case. You have to charge it up, which is another headache. You know, it's not a USB-C charger, it's a micro USB, so that also sucks because you have to carry around 2 cables with your iPad. It's just, I think that it would have been a lot better if it was a little bit more purposely designed for the iPad instead of just being a more generic keyboard. So that rounds it up for this one, guys. Let me know what you think about this one. And as I said, I'd love to hear your recommendations about the Smart Keyboard case. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.